What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Me and my brother travelled up to Stoke yesterday to see us record our 6th victory in a row. What form we're on in the Premier League at the moment?
Best form in the Premier League, in the form team.
Yep.
Unbeaten in 2018.
Exactly. 6 wins in a row. Anyway, let's get into the player ratings.
Alright, we'll start with Hugo Lloris, and for the second week in a row we're going to give him a 5. Again, he made the mistake for the goal, but it wasn't just that this time. I thought a few crosses he was flapping at, it could have cost us in the end. I remember one, especially from a corner in the second half, where he flapped and Stoke had got a looping header and it just fell just wide. And so Hugo, you know, we love him. We think he's a fantastic keeper, but he's making mistakes at the moment.
And I'm hearing from a few Spurs fans actually after yesterday that that they would want to find a replacement for him. How do you feel about that?
No, I don't think he's got to that stage just yet. I still think the pros of having Hugo Lloris in the side definitely outweigh the cons. I think he's a great leader. I think he's great for the dressing room, but I think he's just got to iron out these mistakes at the moment. He's costing us too many goals.
Yeah, and as the game was going yesterday, if we never got that goal, that would have been a very costly mistake. That because
for sure,
Stoke were not really in the game at 1-0 Spurs.
Yeah.
They got back in the game at kind of when they scored that goal, and when we went 2-1 up as well. It should have been really 2-0, and it made us really look behind ourselves the last 5-10 minutes of the game, and they could have easily got that second goal.
And he was flapping at a few things. It was also a problem. So, but he had a few good moments. I guess he had a few like big claims he had, but still not good enough.
Yeah. All right. So Serge Aurier, we gave him a 6. I thought it was a bit of a better performance than his last few performances, but again he was getting caught out of position. But I thought he was providing a good attacking outlet, like getting in the right spaces, but not actually doing much in those spaces.
Yeah, he was getting very good spaces. I thought he was getting free in really dangerous areas, but wasn't doing enough. And he gave away that free kick, didn't he, which Shaqiri hit the bar from.
Yeah.
He could have easily, who knows if he could have been judged as last man or not. I thought a couple of times in those last few minutes he was getting caught out on that side. So things to improve on, but I thought it was a decent performance from Serge.
Going back to that free kick, I don't get these referees. Like, I thought he was last man, Aurier. It's like he booked him a yellow card. You either don't book him, don't give a free kick, or give him a red card. Like, surely there's got to be some consistency here. I
don't know. I think he was trying to get the ball, and I think they've changed the rule now, the Premier League, that if it's a cynical wipeout, then yeah, you can give a red card. But if the referee thinks you're trying to get the ball and it's just mistimed, then he can give a booking.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I never even knew that, these new rules these days.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
On to Danny Rose. We also gave him a 6. Not bad, not a terrible performance from Danny Rose. I thought he got up and down the wing quite well. I thought he tired fairly early on, about 10 minutes ago. He was getting quite tired. He wasn't able to get back properly.
Even before that.
He won quite a few free kicks for us in deep into the opposition half. I thought he won the free kick for the goal, which we scored. He didn't really get enough of his final ball on point, but I thought he was a good outlet. He was always providing an option, which was good.
The thing is with Rose, I thought it was his best game for a long time yesterday. He was providing a good attacking outlet, but he still doesn't seem fit enough for that old Rose bombing up and down that left wing.
Still not the same Rose. Still not the same Rose.
I think his attacking outlet is much better than his defensive duty. You know what I mean?
Capabilities. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he was all right.
I don't think he got caught out so many times defensively. Maybe late on he did.
Yeah, late on, 20 minutes to go, he was proper tired, and I thought we should have brought on Davis at that stage, but
yeah,
luckily we held on in the end.
For sure.
All right, we move on to Davinson Sanchez. We gave him a 7. Not the best performance from him. Like, from recent weeks, we've been seeing him in 8s and like big performances from Sanchez recently, but he got caught out a couple of times.
Well, I think he struggled a bit when Crouch came on, I felt.
Yeah, I thought, like first half and beginning of the second half, he was actually very good, and like towards the end of the game, when legs were tiring, he was kind of getting caught out a bit.
First of all, he got kind of semi-caught out for the goal when obviously Shaqiri put that ball in behind him, and it was a mistake by Hugo, but he did get in behind Sanchez for the goal. And also that was that opportunity when it was like 4-on-1 in Stoke's favour, where Sanchez suicidally, completely just went for it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
And it was easy for the Stoke player to just go past him, and then all of a sudden it opened up. It was like 4-on-1 on Jan Vertonghen on him by himself, and somehow Vertonghen stopped it.
Super Jan.
Exactly. But other than that, I thought there was quite a few moments. He had a few towering headers and a few really vital interceptions. He had a pretty solid game in general, but just a few hairy moments for Sanchez as well. I gave him a 7.
Yeah.
On to Jan, we gave him a 9. Another exceptional performance from Jan Vertonghen, saved us time after time, especially in those last 10 minutes when we were really under the cosh. I thought he really stepped up. He was heading the ball out, clearances, and as we just mentioned before, that moment where it was like 4-on-1 in Stoke's favour. And although it was awful play by Diouf, Jan still had to be there to mop up, and he's again stepping up into midfield. He's just an exceptional defender and another fantastic performance.
How many times in those last 10-15 minutes did we see Jan clear that ball? Time and time again, Stoke were pumping the ball in the box, and every time Jan was getting it away. It was unbelievable, really.
Yeah, he's an astonishing defender. It's just the way he times his clearances as well. And a lot of the time, if you see his clearances, he tries to aim it at someone when he clears it, and he's just a fantastic defender.
He is just a majestic player.
He really is. He's so majestic. Great word for it.
We move on to Moussa Dembele. We gave him a 7. It was hard for Moussa yesterday because every time he got the ball, he was kind of being crowded out by the Stoke players. He kind of had 3 men on him every time.
Yeah.
But having said that, he did play. He was all right. Like, he was getting the ball, he was making stuff happen. But it's hard when you've got 3 players on you the whole time. But at least it kind of brought in players and let other players have free space.
Well, he kept getting fouled, didn't he?
Yeah,
Dembele? That was one. But one positive thing you could say is he did play that ball to Dele Alli. He played that through ball, which led to the first goal. I thought he had a pretty solid game, all things considered. I thought, they put like 3 men on him at all times pretty much, but I thought he dealt with it fairly well.
Yeah.
He was winning free kicks. He lost possession maybe a couple of times, but most of the time was either winning free kicks or I thought a few times he was slaloming past head midfielders and creating opportunities. So I thought it was a pretty solid game from Dembele.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right, on to Victor Wanyama.
Big Vic.
We gave him a 6. He came in for Eric Dyer for this game. I thought it was a fairly solid game from Wanyama, but wasn't up to his usual high standards, I would say. He was obviously winning the ball back at a number of times as he usually does, but I thought in possession he wasn't. I think I've seen better games from him in possession from Wanyama, but I thought it was okay. Probably not good enough to win his space off Dyer just yet, but I think it's a step in the right direction from Wanyama.
Yeah, like he was winning the ball back quite a lot in that middle of the park, but apart from that, he didn't really do much else in the game. I thought on the ball, well, of course, obviously we dominated possession. I don't think he was that impressive. He lost the ball a couple times, but that's not his main job, is to win the ball back, and he did that very well. Yeah, but when you're in that centre midfield for Tottenham, you need to offer a lot more than just winning the ball back.
Yeah, and I think he can. I think he does, but I just don't think
he didn't yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Wanyama, but just yesterday he wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Oh, we move on to Christian Eriksen, the man of the moment. Did he get 2 goals or 1 goal?
Oh, Premier League gave it to him. They did. The Premier League said upon review they've given the 2nd goal to Christian Eriksen.
Really?
So yeah,
Kane won't be happy about that.
Kane will not be happy about that. He was adamant he got a shoulder on it, but they gave it to him. Another fantastic display.
Really was. I thought another sensational display from Christian Eriksen. 2 goals. He was making us tick for the whole game. Like, kind of most of our attacking play was all going through him. He was literally the playmaker. Well, he is our playmaker, and it's just another sensational performance, and he's just getting better and better, Christian Eriksen.
I mean, and he's getting more clinical as well. I think he's adding more goals to his game. That's now 10 goals this season for Christian Eriksen, and
is that his best return ever for us?
I think his best return, it has been, I thought a couple of years ago he got 10 goals as well, so I think 1 more goal and he will beat his best ever. But considering the amount of chances he creates and the amount of assists he gets, also to be adding goals to his game, just what can't the man do? And another fantastic free kick, whether Kane touched it or not. It was a great cross by Eriksen. It was impossible to deal with, shown by the fact that it went straight into the back of the net. I thought he was creating stuff all day. He was linking up with Alli and Son really dangerously, and he was creating chances, and he's become, I think in the last few games, he's become our form player.
He really comes to his own at this stage of the season. I don't know what it is about this stage, but Eriksen is just, when it gets to like after January, something happens with Eriksen in his mind, and he just goes, whew.
Yeah, just full force, straight for it. And he's not, shows no signs of slowing down. On to Dele Alli. We gave Dele an 8. a really good display again after his masterclass at Chelsea. I thought he got an assist for the first goal, a really solid layoff to Eriksen, where a few people might have thought the chance had gone when he looked like he was through on goal. But he stayed calm, stayed composed. We talked about that composure he has. Laid it on for Eriksen to sweep home. And he was also playing that lovely ball into Son first half as well, when Son went through on goal, should have scored. So Alli providing, again, more chances for his teammates and getting in really good positions, a really good display from Dele.
Yeah, you know, we've said it many times about what's been said about Dele Alli this season, and how everyone's saying he's had a poor season and stuff, but he's showing everyone now like what he can do.
Yeah,
he's been playing really well the last couple of games, and he's going to be sure to be on that plane to Russia
for sure, 100%. And he's really sharp the criticism in the last few games. He'll be in the starting 11, no doubt about
100%. All right, we move on to Heung-min Son. Probably one of his worst performances in the past couple of months. Not much was coming off for him. He was trying to make stuff happen, but it wasn't really happening for him. There was that one moment in the first half when he went through on goal.
Yeah,
really should have slotted that.
I thought he did well, to be fair to him, to skip past a couple.
Yeah, no, he did well to get into that.
But he should be finishing it once he's one-on-one with the keeper. And also, just before we conceded, actually, I remember Harry Kane played a lovely through ball into him. He takes a lovely touch into first touch to put it in front of him to get him through. Stoke player just about gets there, just in front of him, and then they clear the ball upfield and end up equalising straight away. So he had a couple of opportunities he could have done better with. It wasn't the best performance from Sonny other than those things. But obviously, he's also still banging form at the moment, I think.
I thought the Stoke defenders dealt with him well.
Yeah, he didn't get behind, except for those two opportunities, didn't get behind too much. But usually, if you get him behind a couple of times a game, that should be enough.
Should be. Yeah. Well, you know, if he scores two of those goals, you know, we're talking much differently about him.
Of course.
So,
but I thought he linked up well with the other players. But just wasn't.
It was just his end product, really.
Yeah, I'd say that. And lastly, Harry Kane, we gave him a 7. Whether he got the goal or not, I don't think it affects the rating we're going to give him. I thought he was linking up superbly as usual. I thought whenever we're struggling what to do with the ball, we just pop into Harry Kane. He'll hold off the defender and create opportunities. As I mentioned before, he played that lovely ball into Sonny for that chance, which Sonny took in his stride. And I thought he was creating a number of opportunities, and it was a good welcome return to the starting lineup for Harry Kane.
Definitely, it was great to see him back. Always gives us that presence, you know, up front when you got Kane there. Yeah. Much different to when you got Son up there. You know, it's a very different style of play that we play. But you know, you got to love Kane. He thought he played very well, and it's good to have him back.
And we'll see if he gets that goal in the near future. But it looks like they're going to Eriksen for the moment, but maybe he'll go to the dubious goals panel or whatnot.
We'll see. But Kane is adamant that was his goal.
Absolutely adamant. I don't know, looking at the pictures, I'm not so sure whether it was his goal or not.
Well, you know, in the stadium they announced Harry Kane.
Yeah.
When I saw the goal, it looked like to me it was Kane's goal. But then after the game, you know, it was all coming through online. It was Eriksen's goal.
Maybe what's called apparently there's one specific image where if you stop it, you can see Kane touch it with his shoulder, but I don't know. We have to wait and see. But Eriksen has it for now.
Yeah. So we move on to Poch.
Yeah. Do you want to make a quick comment on the subs, Lamela?
Yeah, Lamela was class when he came on. I really did. I thought, you know, the way Lamela plays with such passion, how he gets in, like he just pushes up and gets into their defensive line, and it's just amazing. I just love the guy so much, and with the passion he shows for Spurs, you know, comments about Wilshere, stamping on Fabregas, you know, the guy is a Tottenham legend in the making.
I thought he was actually fantastic when he came on yesterday. I thought he gave us a really good outlet. I thought he was really dangerous on the counter. Just a few, what I would say as criticism were a few opportunities where we were like 3 or 4 or 1, and he just dallied a bit too long.
Yeah.
And we could have been more dangerous. But
it was that moment when he was 1-on-1 with the defender. When he would have been through on goal, or he could have passed it. I can't remember who he should have squared it to. I think it was Kane. If he would have squared it to Kane, he would have been open on goal. But he tried that little ball roll.
Well, he did a few of those ball rolls, didn't he?
But it was that one in particular which wasn't great.
And he nearly scored. He had a shot. Remember, he had a shot just outside the box. That nearly went in. So it was a really good cameo from Lamela again. And I think, as I've said before, ever since he's come back from injury, I think it's probably the best we've ever seen him since he's come back.
He's getting better and better as well.
And He's got to a stage where he can get in the starting 11. I don't know anyone has any issues anymore.
He's looking confident.
Very confident. And I'm really happy with what I'm seeing. I think he's getting to all positions where he's trying to shoot, he's trying to score more, which is what we need to see from him, because that's what I think, that he's got that quality in his boots, and he hasn't shown that enough in his first show.
Once he's had a proper pre-season under his belt, as well as Lucas, we're going to have that's like 2 new signings next season.
Yeah, well, people get angry when you say Lamella's like a new signing, considering he's been there for 4 years, but I see where you're coming from. I think Lamella is, I agree with you completely. I think Sissoko came on as well.
He didn't come on for much
didn't do
time.
much. Did anyone else come on?
No. Ben Davies should have come on, but he didn't.
No, Dyer came on for a bit.
Oh, Dyer, he wasn't that good when he came on.
No, actually, he lost the ball, didn't he? And nearly cost us a goal. That was what led to Sanchez being caught out when Dyer.
So Dyer and Sanchez both kind of lost the ball and got caught out, and then Jan was there.
The difference was Dyer was kind of the way how Dyer was being way too lackadaisical. It was just like being too casual, and he just passed it straight into the Stoke player, rebounded. And then Sanchez kind of got caught out trying to save the situation, but it was suicidal.
Those last 10 minutes were a bit of a calamity, to be honest.
Like, we were under the cosh.
We were really under the cosh, and it could have been bad news.
Yeah, Crouch was really causing us damage, running these really dangerous flick-ons, but we held out.
I don't have a bad word to say about Crouch.
Of course. Anyway, so moving on to Poch.
So we're moving to Pochettino. Team selection wasn't too bad. It was good selection.
Pretty spot on, I thought. I think he changed the fullbacks.
Would you have kept Ben Davies and Trippier in there?
Listen, I think they are the form fullbacks at the moment, but I think he's using the squad. I've got absolutely no problem with him changing the fullbacks and using because they're Aurier, Rose, Wanyama as well. They're quality players, and if he wants to give them some game time against Stoke, I've got absolutely no problem with that. And
also, to be fair, we do have quite a lot of games in a short space of time coming up. We've got Brighton in the midweek, and before that we got City, and we got the Cup semi-final as well. And I'm assuming next week we've got City, as you said, we've got City then Brighton. I'm assuming he's going to want to change up a bit in those games, and you can't just expect those players having no game time to just come straight in. So you've got to give them some game time somewhere, and he chose this game. I imagine against City it's going to be Trippier and Davis, and then Brighton will be back to Aurier and Rose, and then for the semi-final we'll be back to the Trippier and Davis. That's what I'd imagine. I thought they did well. I thought we actually, to be honest, I know we conceded and the last 10 minutes were really under the cosh, but this game really should have been dead by that time. It should have been about at least 3 or 4-1 with the amount of counter-attacking options and opportunities we had and the chances we created. We should have been out of sight before the last 10 minutes. And in any game when there's only 1 goal in it, 10 minutes to go, it's always going to be a tight end. So that's how it is. The one criticism I have of Pochettino is not bringing on Davis for Rose in that last 20 minutes, because it was evident that he was knackered, Rose, and he was getting beaten and for those last 10 minutes as well. It's either that or you tell Rose to stop going forward as much. You got to manage the game, because he was going forward non-stop and he just wasn't able to get back. You could see him, he was struggling big time. So that had to be sorted out. But other than that, pretty solid display from Pochettino. I thought bringing on Lamella, he did really well when he came on for Delhi, or for Son. We never gave him a rating. Who, Lamella? No. Pochettino. Well, 7? Give him an 8. Alright, we'll give him an 8. Give Pochettino an 8. Give you the benefit of the doubt, Poch. Alright, so we got Man City next. Big game in the Premier League. They cannot win the league at Wembley. That's the main thing. Exactly. So it doesn't matter what's happening. No guard of honours for Kyle Walker. None of that's happening. But it's a weird one. 7:45 kickoff on a Saturday, which is pretty rare. But it's I think we can do it. Considering the form City are on, we have nothing City to fear. Are rocking at the moment. And the form we're on, we've got nothing to fear, I think, at the moment. We're a team full of confidence, and City are going to be really wary of us, I think. I think City are rattled at the moment, and we're rocking and rolling. And if we can get a win there, there's no stopping us really in terms of top 3 or top 4. I guess it depends on their lineup, depends what happens in the Liverpool game. Yeah. If they win that one if they go through to the semi-final somehow, they'll be full of confidence. They're going to use a lot of energy in that game, that's for sure. That's for sure. So it'll be an interesting game. It's not, unfortunately, because City have already wrapped up the title pretty much. It doesn't have that kind of aura about it that it's a massive game, but it's still in context of the season. It's still pretty important, I would say. Yeah, because United are quite far ahead of us. I think if we beat City, then maybe
we have a slight chance of catching United, but I don't think.
I don't think so.
I think we beat City, we do.
I
think now they've just beaten Chelsea, Liverpool, and City. I think it's hard to see them dropping points anywhere.
And seeing as obviously we've got City this weekend and they've got West Brom.
I think if we beat City, then I think we have still a slight chance.
So United don't have much hard games left.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's where they drop their points.
Yeah, you're right.
But we have to beat City, otherwise we have no chance. So onwards and upwards. Fantastic form we're in. So obviously we'll be at City on Saturday. Watch out for the matchday vlog. We'll have a preview of the City channel as well. Like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know who you thought your man of the match was. And as always, come on, you Spurs.